honest, I'm sure.
Quickest car out on the circuit is the Pertec Ford of Jason Bright, and he did that on the last lap. So he's hot in pursuit of the two Mobil 1 HRT cars, but as we saw in the first race, couldn't quite do anything about getting up there. He was there, but Lowndes got the jump on him at the restart. McLean is still fighting off the persistent challenge from John Bowe in the Caterpillar Ford.
You see how hard he's driving that car, really working the suspension hard. Very challenging racetrack this. Two wheels up in the air. McLean now with his mirrors full of Caterpillar Falcon. We're on board with John Bowe, fighting back from a poor qualifying performance. He's up to 8th position. This is the battle for 7th. Cameron McLean in behind Stephen Ellery from the similar EL Falcon. The older Ford strong today, Baz.
You see, Cameron McLean's car was every bit as quick, if not quicker, through the left and the right and the left than JB's car was. So it's not a bad old banger, is it, really?
Watch the speed climb, the triple telemetry, the information there. They climb up to around 240 kilometres per hour. Hard on the brakes. This is turn 2 after they go through that interesting little kink, quick jab on the accelerator, then back hard on the brakes and down through the gears. This is the slowest corner on the circuit, about 65, 70 kilometres per hour as they wind back up. It'll be interesting to see if McLean can do anything about Stephen Ellery.
Well, it's just a Mark Scape set up that first race. It's controlled aggression around Oran Park. You really monster the rear tyres very quickly. You're not driving, trying to keep the car as straight as possible. Here that Mark Larkham has just dropped out of the race with engine problems apparently. So the Mitre 10 Ford having another awful round of the Shell Series. Let's hope he can get things together for the two Enduros.
It's a really hard circuit when you think about it. There's absolutely nowhere to rest. Okay, you've got the main straight, but hard work. The whole circuit is really a lot of hard work.
Well, these two closing in on the back of Stephen Ellery. Dick Johnson still defending hard from Larry Perkins. Jason Bargwanna coming into the picture. This is the battle for 10th position.
This goes to show you how good John Bowe is. Starting the day 17th, but now he's up into 8th, ahead of Faulkner, Johnson, the two. And then now we go back to Greg Murphy in the Wins Racing Kmart Commodore, and his teammate Stephen Richards there, Longhurst behind, and Russell Ingall just in front. So Ingall has worked his way up from 21st back up to 15th. That little bit of a skirmish with Glenn Seaton and Paul Radicic earlier has hurt the Enforcer in terms of championship points. So too Seaton. That's not what they need at the end, at this end of the season. Keep in mind, double points coming up the next 2 rounds, 300 points at the Queensland 500, and at Bathurst as Craig Harris hassles Darren Pate.
Stephen Richards doing a great job too in the Wins Commodore. He started off the back of the grid after those steering problems in Heat 1. Finds himself up in 16th position, so he's making a lot of ground. Craig Harris in last year's Bathurst winning Falcon doing a great job in the privateer ranks, but here's the battle between Jason Bright and Garth Tander for 3rd position. There's the two Mobil Commodores, about 1.5 seconds up the road from the Pertec Ford. But Tander
looks for business.
He really, they've really worked hard on the setup of this car this weekend. They came here basically with the car set up the way they were from Winton, and they were terrible, so the teams had to go through and work very, very hard. Steve Kramer, all the shock absorbers, working very hard on that suspension development of the Gary Rogers cars. It's been a tough season for them, but right at the pointy end of the field, where it matters, the big Enduros coming up, these cars are getting right on song.
And Tander is the quickest car on the circuit, a 1:08.55 last time round. And it's obvious he is caught up and is now chasing Jason Bright, who realistically isn't that far behind Lowndes, but too far back to do anything about. Lap 14 of 20, so we're running out of time in this second one for him to do anything, but plenty of time for Tander to perhaps make a move on Bright for 3rd. Now, interesting after their great run at Winton, not only Tander, but especially Jason Bargwanna. If you look at in terms of the teams championship, and there is no championship for the teams, but just purely from a points basis, they are the 2nd place team behind HRT. Now, for a small operation, that is a huge compliment.
Yeah, very effective driving combination. I'm really looking forward to seeing both those two together come the endurance time. Here's Stephen Richards. Tony Longhurst on the attack in the Castrol Falcon. Richards in 16th position. So it's a little bit further back in the pack, but every championship point vital here before we head into the Enduros.
Look at the names back there outside the 10. Ingall 14th, Murphy 15th, Richards 16th, Longhurst 17th. Of course, they had some misfortune in the first race. There was a bit of a tangle. We believe it was Garth Tander on Tony Longhurst. Saw that big black mark on Tander's front bumper as he made the inside challenge on Longhurst right here as we speak now under the bridge. We saw Tony end up in the sand trap as he now menaces Stephen Richards.
Stephen Richards, 16th position. Tony Longhurst. Keep in mind, these two guys started off the back of the grid after dramas in heat 1. To find themselves within the top 20 and this level of competition, phenomenal effort. Right across the dog leg, and Longhurst on the look down the inside. Richards not giving him any room. It's very tight on the way out.
That's good racing. That's good close racing. Neither of these drivers want to be tangled up in anything after their results from race 1. Both giving each other plenty of room and good close racing. 16 of 20. We've got 4 laps to run.
Tell you what's critical for these teams too is we only have the Queensland 500 in 2 weeks' time, so you really can't afford to leave Oran Park with a bent car.
No.
You're going to be in all sorts of drama by the time you get to Queensland.
Well, the majority of teams are interstate. When I say interstate, from New South Wales or either Queensland or Victoria. So by the time they load the truck up tonight, drive home, get there, unload, do their work, they've only really got a week to work before they've got to pack the truck and leave again and drive to Queensland. For the Queensland team, it's a little easier. We see Craig Harris slip up the inside of Rodney Forbes. Nice move there. Rodney, after not finishing in the first race, he also had a tough run there, but fighting his way back.
Yeah, you have to say that Brighty looks like he's got Garth Tander under control, even though Tander looked like he was all over the back of him. It does seem as if Bright, looking at the lap times and looking at the distance apart, I think
it's maximum
he's
pressure.
got it covered. It's maximum pressure, but I think he's got it covered. Having said that, he'll probably pass it.
Well, it really is maximum pressure because Tander's just all over the back of this car. He's been since the start of the race. If Bright makes one slip, Valvoline Commodore's going to be up there.
He's done himself a world of good, Garth Tander. He's gained respect from everyone after he had the tag, the Wild Man, and he's settled down. He's had something like 4 podiums this year, and some good smooth driving has earned him plenty of respect, that's for sure.
Global Holden Racing team continue to dominate at the front, just holding that 1.5 second gap over the Pertec Ford.
Oh, John Walker.
And a big lose back part of the track.
That's a shame because John was running in 9th after qualifying 15th. So he was having a good run. Now, it looked like there was a bit of red paint on his back right bumper there.
Commodore domination continues of the Shell Championship Series. 28 wins to Holden, only 2 to Ford.
This is going to be interesting. If he does have a go, it's going to be a real desperado, I reckon, because it's pretty evenly matched.
Bryce just not giving him a chance. Former Australian Drivers' Champion. Had a wonderful transition to V8 Supercars. Just continued to go from strength to strength. The only man so far this year to have qualified in the top 5 at every round. Consistency has been the key word for both Jason Bright and the Stone Brothers operation.
We have a timing monitor here in the commentary box, and we're constantly looking for movers in the pack, and one of the biggest movers is Jason Bargwanna from 28th to 9th. He is up there inside the top 10. He's sandwiched between Bow and Johnson, and on the move in the second of the Valvoline Cummins Commodores.
Richards continues to defend magnificently from Longhurst. Let's have a look at the Shell Helix
Faulkner going up the inside of JB. Oh, a little bit of a touch there.
Oh. Well, what we hear from the pits is that John Faulkner's retired with broken steering. There might have been contact coming across the bridge there. We couldn't quite see.
It didn't look like, if there was a bump, it didn't look like a big one, not enough to break the steering. But,
2 laps remaining. Looks like Bargwanna's car. Well, if that engine is getting hot, it'll be really hot by the time he pulls into pit lane. But he seems to be absolutely powering. It's not affecting the speed of the car. Up to 9th position. He's climbed into the top 10.
From 28th. That is an outstanding effort. And look at this battle going on between Larry Perkins and Dick Johnson. This is for the minor placings. This is back in 11th and 12th.
Yes. That's it.
Dick defended throughout that race. But Larry, right at the last minute, maybe Johnson's tyres might be going off a little bit toward the end of the race. They did say it was going to be problems with tyres here as the day wore on.
What a day that will be in November when we see Dick drive his final Bathurst at the FAI 1000. We should remind you too, because there still seems to be a fair amount of public confusion out there. The V8 Supercars are at Bathurst in November, not October. We must stress that. Saw quite a few fans walking around here this weekend asking questions. There's the FAI 1000 in November for V8 Supercars. That's the only time you can see these guys on the mountain.
Meanwhile, here's our race leader, Mark Scaife, Craig Lowndes, Jason Bright, closed up just under a second. I'm pretty sure that's the Mobile boys controlling the speed from the front. They're very conscious of the fact they've got to hold the rubber together on these tyres. They've got another race to come. So winning by the smallest possible margin isn't going to matter as long as they win.
Good points racing by Garth Tander. He's just sitting there, not doing anything desperate and gathering valuable points. But how about the two out in front? Mark Scaife, Craig Lowndes. Scaife will make it 2 from 2. And after the last race, the Mobile Holden Racing team have won 9 of the last 10 races here at the Sydney circuit. It's quite incredible. And Scaife will make it 10 from the last 11. Scaife does it. 2 from 2 for the Mobile 1 boys. Lowndes follows him home for second. Bright and Tander in for good positions, 3rd and 4th. There we go, a satisfying run for Mark. From pole position, a new qualifying record, 2 race wins under his belt. It's looking good to be a clean sweep for him, and Lowndes is doing a good job. It's been a very clean run for those guys. Sure, it was made easy starting from the front row, but Lowndes did well after bogging down at the start and reclaiming second at the restart.
They are so totally dominant. The funny thing is there's really no explanation. Nobody can come up and say that they are dominant because of this. It's just a class act from start to finish. Driver-wise, mechanic, ends, everything is very, very good. And other people should be able to match it because they have the financial resources to do it. And it's just everybody is clueless as to why they're virtually 100% record. But it's just they're just very, very good.
They're a polished unit, that's for sure.
They really are. You walk around and have a look, you talk to the guys, he said everybody's on the ball there.
As they take it home back to pit lane, 2 down, 1 to go here at the final sprint round for 1999. Scaife, Lowndes, Bright, Tander, Radicic. How well is he going? Look for him in race 3. Ellery, McLean and Bow. Barguana is up there. He's got a shot in race 3.